one of those things you really don't think about until it really becomes apparent.
Yeah, absolutely. The minor frame saves that you think of actually really do add up over a 2-hour run.
Oh, absolutely.
And we are off and running. Let's see what we have in first chest. Just a red root.
$20 is $20 though.
Yeah,
It's
you
hard
like.
to complain about that, especially early.
Yeah, absolutely. Early, you really need money for the bottle vendor and Zora potentially. So $20, not the worst thing to get right now.
Certainly better than the validation arrow or the penny.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got an early map check, by the way. Eastern is a red pendant, red crystal. I'm sorry, desert crystal, Hera red pendant.
Yeah, it's been an interesting metagame call. I've seen a number of runners doing these map checks in the escape sequence rather than waiting to go out. I'm not sure if that's just runner preference or what. And oh, there's that bomb start.
Yeah, we got the bomb start, and then we get a sword.
And then we get a sword. So never mind. Almost just as good as a sword start. Those 10 bombs will be used, I'm sure, to clear out the sewers, Kakariko, the Southern Shore Loop. That's probably as best as you're going to get for the early game.
Yeah, that to me is probably the best start in terms of this escape, because you want the bombs early, you don't have to farm, you can just do the escape normal.
I mean, you don't have any of the extra goodies that necessarily go with it, but you still have you've got what you need, and for runners of this caliber, that's more than enough. So both for runners, since this is in standard mode as opposed to open, they will be going through the practice princess saving mission.
Absolutely. We're a little bit boring at times, especially if you're an MG runner, but, it's not to worry. And we got a heart piece, by the way, in that last chest, if anyone missed it.
Yeah, both our runners knowing that they can get that double hit with the spins on the blue guards. It's just knowing how the randomizer, not only just how the randomizer works, but how the game engine itself works, that just gives you so much utility in even this low power equipment setup.
And hello, power gloves.
I love my power glove. It's so bad.
It took me a second, but I know what you're talking about.
Glad you at least got the reference. That power glove is going to open up even more spots up and around the area. If our players decide that they don't need those stinking lamp, that's a Death Mountain access to a degree.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't really do, like you said, like you kind of alluded to, you can't really do a whole lot up there, but it is available. And getting that Uncle save spot, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, the old man save spot, both of our runners just slashing the guard to death, pinning him to the side. And we have the map, so that's one item we don't have to worry about for later. Although I think that confirms that the sewers key is going to be in its vanilla location.
Yeah, I believe you were right. And so that won't be too bad. And I had something else in my mind, and I just completely went blank.
Well, in any case, there's 4 live items left in the sewers and in Sanctuary, and it's going to make some interesting determinations about what our runners decide to do. Tower of Hera being a red pendant, even if they do find Lamp in one of those 4 chests, might dissuade them from an immediate Death Mountain play.
That is very true. And aLderzz here gotta be a little careful on half a heart.
Yeah, it's definitely not where you want to be. He could even have taken some of those pots with the hearts underneath them for a bit of safety.
True, but go big or go home.
Yeah, and he is going big, and it seems like for the most part it is going to pay off for him. Just has to be careful.
That'll be the biggest thing. And he gets hit by a rat. And there's a heart right there. Whew. That was a little too close for comfort.
That was way too close for comfort.
Here we're gonna get our small key. So, if for anyone that may be new, you might be wondering why they have a light cone here, and we talked about not doing dark rooms earlier. In standard mode only, you get an automatic light cone here in the escape sequence, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it only gives you the light cone in the escape, although even if you come back later, you'll still have the light cone, but it's just for this one area. Eastern Palace, Death Mountain, all those places you're going to have a lamp or have memorized the layout, which I'm sure for most of these runners isn't the problem, it's just something they'll need to know.
And we get Titan's mitts. Holy cow, both mitts right away.
And 300 rupees. So that is more than enough money for the bottle vendor. That puts him close to Zora money, in fact.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though they don't have flippers, Zora himself, the King Zora, is technically in logic. So keep that in mind.
You don't need the flippers in order to get to the Master Con Man. You will need them or a fake flipper in order to get to the rest of the items.
Just a piece of heart here in Sank. All right, so now we will see as we leave here. Both runners most likely will do the Lost Woods route. I doubt we'll see anyone do the Death Mountain route, but you never know.
It is possible, but again, with only 2 items you can actually get to by making that play, I think that's probably not exactly in our runners' minds until they get either the mirror or the hook shot to have a bit more exploration.
That's very fair. And it would appear that Sigma's decided to skip out on Lumberjack Cave. Understandable. A lot of runners recently, especially, avoid Lumberjack Cave until they get the boots because boots is required for it. Oh, that's a rod.
Oh, and we have the hoarder giving fairies on the drops. That's very relevant. Yeah, that's a rod, but that's fire rod.
I was gonna say, I think that was fire rod, and it took me a minute because I couldn't quite tell what it was, and I'm like, that's not fire. So,
if crystals are at any, if crystals aren't, the only way that's not required is if both Skullwoods and Turtle Rock are the other 2 pendants.
Absolutely, and I guess there's something in Gan's Tower where it's required to have their fire rod when you go right side, but we'll get into that if that's necessary. But
yeah, it's much later, a much longer shot. Ice Palace normally would use the fire rod, but Bombos will do in a pinch. Sigma is going to check out Blind's hut to see what the Master Thief's got hiding in his basement. And aLLderzz is going to be heading over in that direction as well.
Absolutely. And, with aLLderzz taking that extra time to check Lumberjack there and Sigma's not, he has that knowledge. That could be very important as we get further into this race.
Yeah, and in the last race, aLLderzz checked the Lumberjack caves. Sigma did not. It was Powder in Game 1. Thankfully, they had access to the Cane of Samaria and the Mushroom, and Mad Batter didn't even have anything potentially of value, so it was all moot. Still, that information is very powerful in the right hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if we end up getting Dark World access.
Yeah, we're a Moon Pearl away from Dark World access.
So far, though, and we get Flute in the Well. That's a good spot for the Flute.
That is a very good spot for the Flute. Just casually stroll on over from the bottle vendor and turn that bad baby on.
And bottle vendor with half magic, so he's not a ripoff.
That is a very, very good deal for a half magic. Don't have anything to spend it on, as everyone please rise and remove your hats for the Swag Duck Anthem.
Yeah. For the silent version. Here we go.
The goose is healthy and has been released. Woolagin pointing out that Game 1 also had a flute in Kakariko, so very early fast travel. This gets them up to Death Mountain without needing to do that access through the old man. We have Ether in the chicken coop as well.
Nice. Kakariko having some nice items, but not a whole lot of super
missing
progression.
a little bit. Yeah, missing a few things for progression. The Moon Pearl is the big one. The boots will unlock a couple things. The flippers will unlock a couple things. And the bow would allow access into Eastern. The book would allow us to take out most of Desert. They'd still need a fire source.
Well, they might need boots for a desert, but depending on what's on the
It's
torch.
possible.
So we have Blue Mail on Race Game, which Peter Sigma will be going for, and the library had just a piece of heart, so we won't worry about that.
Yeah, there was actually Elminster and Scienty yesterday where Blue Mail was the race game item. Scienty took it, Elminster decided he didn't need it, and ended up putting his money where his mouth is as he won that by, I want to say, 2 minutes.
That 2 minutes is not very much, so that definitely helped him out avoiding that.
Yep, and aLderzz is going to pass on that Blue Mail.
Yeah, he did. He's going down south.
Yep, making the plays here. aLderzz trying to close Sigma out. And we'll see if, like yesterday, this play ends up being relevant. Sigma is going to go straight to Ice Rod Cave, it looks like.
Yep, you got the flute, makes it an easier check. You just gotta be. And he has Blue Mail, so those crabs aren't as big of a deal.
Yeah, they'll only do 1 heart of damage as opposed to 2.
But only
it
a
also
red
set up a. It will set up a fake flippering, and hey, there's another big 300 at the dam. So that's Zora money and then some for aLderzz.
Yeah, absolutely. And you may not want to necessarily do fake flippers right now without the Moon Pearl, but it is definitely an option as we get further along.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it would only open up the Hobo and Zora, which you have normal access to anyway. But gonna clear up Mini Molorn Cave. There's 5 items. One of those could be something relevant.
Ooh, we get Master Sword.
Alright, well, that's all we need for Aga, and aLderzz knows that more likely than not, he's going to need that.
Yeah, well, we need Lamp yet, depending on how you feel about those Dark Runes, but...
Yeah, I suppose that is true.
But right now, it's definitely setting up for a potential Aga. I mean, we already know it's most likely required at this point, barring how the crystals are.
Yeah, it would be 1 combination of pendants that would let you not 100% need a Fire Rod, and you still might need Fire Rod for GT.
Exactly. And we already have 1 pendant here on the Light World, so that increases the likelihood of Aga as well.
So aLderzz is going to get his big 20 out of Ice Rod Cave. Sigma's going to pick up his Master Sword. And it'll be interesting to see the plays they make from here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not a whole lot they can do at this point, but... Alright, so aLderzz is doing Eastern.
Alright, Eastern's got 3 items. Not all technically in logic, depending on how they happen, but there's also the 3 Sahasrara that could have, like the lamp puts Aga fully in logic. The Moon Pearl opens up a ton. There's just so much you can get here.
Oh my god, we got Bow on the ledge. Desert ledge.
Bow on Desert Ledge. So that's really good information for Sigma. He's still going to need... if he gets a mirror out of Vegeta's Cave here, he can pick that up. You can just do a bunny run.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, we just got the Merle from Sahasrara's Closet.
Sahasrara's Closet with the Moon Pearl and the Shovel. Shovel could be relevant. But aLderzz has Dark World access.
Yeah, he does, and I think we're going to see going right to Dark World at this point.
And Sigma is bailing on Gina's cave. Let's see what he decides to do from here. aLderzz, yeah, he's making the Dark World play.
Oh. Thieves Town Green, Pod Blue.
Yep, that fire rod is 100% required. Oh, and the other important crystal is Skull Woods.
Good catch.
So yeah, that fire rod, you are absolutely going to need that, and aLderzz now is 100% sure that he needs it. He's gonna check Villager Outcast first.
And get silver for his troubles.
Oh my, that is definitely going to help. Of course, Sigma is for sure going to pick that up as well. There's no reason he wouldn't check it.
Speaking of Sigma, he just sequence break the Death Mountain, and he picked up the hammer.
Yeah, that hammer is going to, the thing is, without the mirror, there's still only the one item he can check up here. As aLderzz picking up a red bottle in the C-shaped house. Now that hammer is very good, but it's not in a position where aLderzz is going to miss it. It just might take him a little longer to decide to make that play.
Very valid point. And also red goo on top of Spectacle Rock, piece of heart inside Spectacle Rock, so nothing major there.
Yeah, Sigma unable to get to that potion, again missing the mirror. There's really nothing Sigma can do up there except he'll probably go to Eastern, he'll find his Moon Pearl at the Hospitalist Hut, and aLderzz is going to dip into this Green Pendant Thieves Town. So rather interesting play early, especially because it's a pendant, and especially knowing that you need to do Aga at some point.
Yeah, this is a weird seed right now with how you want to do it. I'm gonna be curious to see who decides, especially knowing that Skull Woods is a red crystal, who makes that Aga 1 play first.
Yeah, Sigma really, until he just exhausts all his options for the fire rod. Because, I mean, he doesn't need it for Dark World access. He just needs it, to clear 3 crystal dungeons.
Yeah, just nothing major.
Well, the other thing, Sigma's gonna check Hype Cave with that hammer, as aLderzz does take a death. Might have helped if he, just had blue mail, just saying.
True, I wasn't sure if that was, did he clear out the entire front half and the side just, Death Warp out, maybe?
He may have. Chat's saying he missed one of the 4, but if he didn't get the big key, that would have been the 4th item. But aLderzz, he's going to do Alec Baldwin's digging game and probably rescue the dwarf afterwards.
Yep. He might stay south for a bit too. He might go the Stumpy hype route as well, Hype Cave route, and get that out of the way.
Oh, Sigma buying bombs at Dark World Link's house before. Oh, he was out of bombs, so yeah, he'll have to buy those before heading into Hype Cave.
Hype Cave.
A little bit of hype left. A little bit of hype left in Hype Cave. That is a very good. You got Tempered Sword. You got Mirror out of that. And there's the other mail upgrade to Alec Baldwin's digging game. So that'll be red mail when Sigma goes up there.
Yeah, absolutely. This is it's a fun, interesting seeing this routing here. Both players kind of doing the same thing, but completely opposite ways.
Yeah, and so aLderzz is going to he's going to miss out on hammer pegs because he doesn't have the hammer. But no, he's going to be taking this Froggy on a much longer world tour, and they're going to pretty much high five at old Stumpy. All right, Stumpy, what you got for us? Big bucks is what you got for us. It's okay, and may as well check that shovel location while you're at it.
We got a mirror, or not mirror, a shield.
We do have a mirror, at least for Sigma, and aLderzz is on his way to pick up his mirror. But yeah. So the question is, when will Sigma come to the calculus that he needs to make the play to Aga? aLderzz knows 100% that he has to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be curious to see, with that mirror, he may decide to go, even though he can't do any of the boot stuff, he may go north route to check the bumper cave and the graveyard ledge, so he might check Lumberjack then.
Yeah, it's possible. So we'll see what he decides to do. He is going to get his red mail. aLderzz is going to save and quit back to the light world, turn into blacksmiths, most likely.
Chat making a good point here. Desert we can get the bow now since we have the mirror.
Yep. And that would open up Eastern to be full cleared if you're willing to do those dark rooms. Oh, gonna check Sick Kid while you're on the way. That makes sense. It's just really good routing from especially aLderzz, but also Sigma as well. Just knowing what you have available and just combining everything you can into one seamless trip.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best route that you could possibly ask for, trying to get everything all at once. And our Smithy friends, our money launderers, they have 5 rupees.
They're must be really bad money launderers if all they can come up with is a nickel, just saying.
Well, I mean, they're small, it's small amounts, right?
And you do realize I am an accountant, right?
I did not, but I was making a joke about there being doors so small. That was a bad joke, I apologize.
No, it wasn't that bad. But aLderzz is, assuming he decides to check Desert Ledge, will have his bow. But it looks like he's going to check its Quake to get into Mire. He's going to check the shed first. Meanwhile, Sigma is going to be doing the purple chest and might do the hammer pegs while he's here.
Shed with the lamp.
Alright, so there is the last piece of the Aga puzzle at the very least.
Absolutely. That also opens up Eastern fully without dark rooms, and Pod too, if you want to make that play as a pendant.
He doesn't have hammer though, so he can't full clear that.
True.
But he's got his bow. And Sigma on his way to turning Gary's lunchbox. aLderzz is going to go through Desert. And let's see if boots are required.
Most likely.
Yeah, at small key, he might be able to steal one from backside, but I mean, there is also the possibility that key only needs the right side with mirror compass, or map compass, sorry. I've seen that happen. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I've seen it a couple times as well, but it's a rare thing.
Yep, that's the only way that can work, but Sigma's got his silver arrows now. So aLderzz, he's probably going to check Checkerboard Cave, and then it'll be interesting to see what he decides to make his play into. I assume it's going to be Aga 1 at this point. He might check Agina beforehand, since he's right here.
Yep.
Just the heart container there.
And that appears to be what he is going to do here. He left that heart container combined. Only 6 hearts right now. I may have taken it, but I can understand not taking it right now.
aLderzz, I mean, he's just running on all cylinders. Sigma going to turning. Oh, he's going to check Sick Kid and then turn it in the lunchbox. You wonder if Sick Kid's sick because he's just not that great at making bombs.
Could be.
So Sigma is going to turn in this lunchbox. aLderzz, he's going to link. Oh, he's pulling out the flute. Interesting. So not going to Aga, instead going to Eastern.
I like that play. Eastern's full clearable. You know, it's crystal full clearable. Might as well do it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I guess it's one of those things. He knows he has to do Aga at some point. What more is he waiting for? EF5, yes, Aga is 100% required because the lumberjack item is the fire rod that's going to be required for Skullwoods and Turtle Rock. Chat pointing out that he is going to need the boots in order to get the fire rod, so that he may also be waiting for that. I keep forgetting that that's something you need.
I know it's easy to forget. You just think about it and you're like, oh yeah, boots. It's easy to forget.
At this point, it's possible boots are at Zora. Like, look at all those 300 secrets. I know that's not inherently put into the routing for Zora, but if that's not a huge clue for you, I'm not sure what is.
That is a valid point. And right now, both runners seem to be kind of avoiding the Zora area right now.
And the fourth chest in Thieves Town was the penny, so Sigma out the door after checking the front four.
And we saw both runners basically do that. I think aLderzz died before you checked that fourth one, but
yeah,
either way,
he's not going to be missing that single rupee. I'll tell you that much. He is probably going to check Bumper Cave and Clifftop Cave in this run.
Absolutely. And he might, is he gonna check it? Is he gonna mirror out and check Lumberjack? He kind of needs to.
He kind of needs to, and he's kind of not doing it.
Oh, he's definitely not doing it. Oh man, I think that's gonna end up being huge later on. That's one of those things. You know, I understand why players don't check Lumberjack right at the beginning when you don't have boots. I get it, but right now, that could be a big difference in this run later on.
Yeah, Sigma does still have the hammer. There are a couple other things that could press his advantage in other ways. Kane Samaria getting the boots that aLderzz is looking for, flippers to check the other items in the Zora area. I mean, with the Moon Pearl, the fake flippers will get you everything except for whatever's on the Zora ledge.
That is a very fair point.
And Sigma is he's headed to the desert, so he'll pick up his bow to go with those silver arrows. He'll also dip into Meyer Shed,
which he'll get his lamp at that point.
Yeah, and he'll probably make the same Eastern play that aLderzz is making.
Yeah, Eastern so far hasn't had anything of value that would appear. I may have missed an item, and I apologize. That was just a red rupee.
Yeah, I've been watching, but I haven't seen anything that's really that great. Chat pointing out that, or our tracker, Nifboy, actually pointing out that because Sigma has the hammer, he'll be able to double Eastern and Pod, but again, Pod is a blue pendant, not exactly something he needs to prioritize.
Absolutely, and judging by both these runners not finishing out the green pendant Thieves Town, I'm gonna guess they're gonna avoid Pod as long as they can.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Pod, yes, they have the mirror, but it's still really winding to do when you want to potentially full clear the thing.
Absolutely. I could see Sigma potentially taking that gamble, knowing he's already a game behind, and if he feels like it's a close race, he needs to make a move, or behind, he may make that move earlier, but right now...
yeah, I don't see him making that move until... Oh, and there's the boots on the Armos Knights, so that answers that question.
Oh, that's huge.
Also, aLderzz can get to the hammer with the lamp. Old Man is fully in logic, but he's probably going to book it straight to Aga now. He no longer has a reason to avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe if Sigma gets those boots from Eastern here in a little bit, if he goes there, went the 6 on accident, maybe?
Yeah, he's immediately fluting back, so that's gotta have been a mistoot. There we go. He's going to 4. He's making the play. So game is on. The question is, how long is Sigma going to be without this play, and how much of an advantage can aLderzz leverage from it?
Sigma's going pod.
Or is Sigma's going pod? So I mean, trying to think what the hook shot is still required, the ice rod is still required, the Cane of Samaria is still required, and the flippers are still required. So there's 5 items that he needs that we do not know where they are. He probably needs to find 2 of them in order for Nora to make this up.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh.
Being careful with Kiki, not that he really has to. Those 880 rupees aren't going to spend themselves.
True. Although, rip-off artists like Kiki, what was he going to use those rupees for? I hear that. That's a good point. He's on Monk 8.
Hey, you don't know how much bananas go for in Hyrule. Let me just put it that way.
Ah. That's a good point. I mean, it's a Nintendo product. Maybe Donkey Kong's around. Donkey Kong loves monkeys, or loves bananas.
And Sigma, I didn't notice it, but he just decided to... Oh, I don't think he ever went in the pod. He just opened it and then went straight into Eastern.
Yeah, he did. He might be... He might go into it after Eastern, which is it's not a horrible play here.
The Eastern is fully clearable with his current kit. He's going to get the boots, and that might affect what he decides to make his play on. He might go back to Desert.
That is possible. That's a good possibility.
Because with the lamp, he can light the torches at the end. The problem is he still needs the fire rod, and not only does he need it, he doesn't know that it's at Lumberjack.
No, and that's gonna be. I mean, we've been talking about it all race so far, and right now, that could end up being the difference.
Like, I mean, it's been what, 25 minutes since aLderzz picked up that information?
Yeah, it was basically right after Escape.
And aLderzz, speaking of, is going straight into the Aghanim fight.
Yep. How many blue balls do you think we're going to be getting from Aga here?
I'm going to give him a fairly average 4.
4? I'm going to go 2. I don't think he's going to be too bad. How about you guys in chat? How many blue balls do you think Aga's going to give us?
Remember, Aghanim runs in cycles of 5. The first shot from every cycle is going to be a reflectable shot. The next 3 have a 50-50 chance of being reflectable or those blue balls. And the 5th one is always a lightning strike that you can't reflect no matter how good you are.
Yeah. And in that first cycle, we got 2, so... Aga not playing nice.
Not playing nice, although if he goes perfect 3 for 3, your call would be on the money.
That's true, and there's 2.
Yeah? Well, one of those was the first one. He's still got 2 more. There it goes. So 3 blue balls, and 1 more lightning, and then that'll be the last hit. So 3 is the number, and the number of the counting shall be 3. Also of note, aLderzz, when he gets that fire rod, he'll have everything he needs to complete Skullwoods, and that opens up the double-chested fairy here inside the pyramid as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is a very good point. We got those 2 red crystals. We'll have those 2 red crystals super early.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward to have them this early, and I think what aLderzz is doing, he's checking. Yeah, he's making the play to check Catfish, and he'll probably combo that straight into Zora. Like, that's just such good routing.
Yeah, absolutely. That is about as optimal routing as you can get with Catfish.
Yeah, especially Catfish has a bit of a reputation for being one of those loose squares that you never want to check. There's never a good spot to check it, and he's just going to make it look effortless here, as Sigma does pick up his boots.
And for Sigma's sake here, we really hope that he goes back to Lumberjack and checks that, but I mean, I feel like the likelihood is pretty slim at this point.
Yep, just a piece of heart from the catfish, so let's see how aLderzz is he going to... No, he's not even going to bother setting up fake clips.
I actually had forgotten he didn't
Sigma
have flippers.
Yep, just a heart container on the ledge, so that's not something to worry too much about. But let's see what the Master Con Man has for us today.
Pod just had a small key in the left side basement there.
And so he will not... Oh, he has the bow, so it wouldn't be bow locked out of the dungeon anyway. And the Cane of Burna as the 500 rupee prize, if you want to call it a prize.
Not horrible, not great. Wrong cane.
Yeah. If he goes up and rescues the old man, that'll give him Spike Cave access.
That is true.
But it looks like aLderzz is making the play, and yeah, he's going to just do desert from here. With a lamp, he can still light the torches. He doesn't need Fire Rod at this point yet.
No, this is not a bad play. I definitely like the if you have crystal dungeons, you do crystal dungeons routing.
Yeah, just knock it out.
Speaking of canes,
that's the one that aLderzz, I'm sure, wanted to find. So Sigma getting some time back. That Cane of Samaria, it's not that deep in, but it's still something he's going to have, and that is required both for Mire and for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pod being a pendant, Eastern already being completed by aLderzz, it might be a little while before he heads back in the Pod. Especially for basically a non-progression item, except for, as you said, Mire and Turtle Rock.
I mean, granted, both of those are crystals, and Turtle Rock he's completely locked out of. There's the book in the gauntlet room of Desert.
Book in Desert is an ironic thing.
Yes, it is. It pretty much says the game logic pretty much had you backdooring your way in, and that was that.
I mean, it really
so
wanted
both of our runners. Oh, and the flippers were in the horseshoe. Sigma.
Oh my god.
That's the two required items that Sigma's picked up here in Pendant Pod. That's what I said he needed.
Yeah, absolutely. That is huge. I mean, we're not through Pod yet, so if hook shots here, that could be.
Oh goodness. I mean, already I think it's relevant enough that it almost makes up for not having Fire Rod.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty close at this point.
And chat saying that just by the numbers, Helmosaur's got to have an item as well. Oh, because we found the map of the compasses already.
That is true. I'm going to be very curious to see if... and there's Bombos.
Yeah, that could be required to get into TR as well.
That also puts Ice Palace. That also gives us full access to Ice Palace.
Yeah, he can full clear Ice Palace. He doesn't need Fire Rod for that, at least. But a Pendant Pod paying out huge dividends, and Sigma's gonna leave the one item that is Helmosaur King. So with the big key, aLderzz will be able to check this big chest. Just a big 20, unfortunately, but I mean, that says a lot about how aLderzz is playing. He's not going to leave a stone unturned. I'm sure he either found out or guessed that Sigma didn't check the left side of Swamp last time, and he wants to make sure he doesn't get a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, completely understandable. So at this point, it looks like ALTTTPR just probably get the Fire Rod and do Skull Woods.
That seems to be what his line is from this play. Meanwhile, Sigma is going to finish out Desert, and it's going to be interesting to see what he decides to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting all those items in Pod was good, but getting that Bombos actually could have ended up being bad because it might take him further away from Lumberjack. And since he can do Ice Palace, he might go to Ice Palace first looking for that Ice Rod.
I mean,
Fire Rod.
Yeah, at some point he is going to have to do Aga, and the question is Sigma going to finish Sigma going to finish Aga before or after ALTTTPR has cleaned out Treasure Pod? That's going to be what determines this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Sigma, you know for sure on Sigma's side, I'm guessing Aga's going to be one of the last things he does.
Yeah, he has no reason to even think about that. ALTTTPR he's going to go to Skull Woods. He could have actually decided to do Death Mountain, and looks like he's probably going to do Clifftop Cave first.
Or play real quick.
Bonk Rocks as well.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. By the way, Sigma here, I'd be remiss not to say it. That was an amazing fight he just had a little bit ago. One cycle Silvers.
Yeah, Silvers will just tear through any opponent, but the Lane Mola's definitely not the easiest enemy to hit with them, so very good on him for being able to pull that out as well as he did. ALTTTPR, he's going to check Clifftop Cave. He can also check King's Tomb with the boots.
Good routing. He was not happy with that wall, so he bombed it.
Yeah, well, when you don't like things, you bomb them. That's how this game works.
Yes. We don't want real life to be that way, though. Don't do that in real life.
Well, in real life, you can't just buy bombs from your friendly corner store. So, yeah.
Oh, God.
It's give and take with the length of pass. Mostly take, but sometimes you have to give.
That's true. Oh, sorry. Anyway. Heart Container in King's Tomb. And I believe we'll get Pyramid Check from Sigma here.
Pyramid Check, he's got Flippers, he's got Hammer, he doesn't have Hook Shots, but he may be thinking of a Swamp Palace at some point. Nope, it does look like he's headed north.
Yeah. Oh, he actually came down to Lake Hialeah Island here.
Oh, and I don't remember seeing what was on the island.
I don't think we ever saw it. Just a bomb upgrade, but is he gonna do ice? No, he's not gonna do ice. Okay.
Yeah, if he was gonna do ice, he would have gone through it a different way, probably. This was probably just a check, and interesting that he didn't do any of the other stuff in that area. He may be trying to go to Hobo as well. Meanwhile, ALTTTPR is gonna get his hammer.
And there's a hammer time for ALTTTPR, but yeah, that is what Sigma's doing here. He's going to check the Hobo, which I don't think ALTTTPR has done.
He hasn't done the Flippers to do Hobo or the Waterfall of Wishing. And he didn't try to fake Flippers away up there.
That's true. ALTTTPR here with the hammer can go to the east side of Death Mountain. I think both sides, although you won't be able to do Hookshot Cave. I like this play. I'm curious to see if he stops in the Hera, though, being that's a pendant.
What he's probably going to do is probably going to check Ether Tablet.
And that's what he's doing. I forgot about Ether.
It's another one of those out-of-the-way places, especially with Hera being a pendant. It's not something you really put into mind. And we do have the Pyramid Check from Sigma. It was just, I think it was just 10 arrows.
Yeah, it wasn't anything too major there.
Major.
Go ahead.
That's Quake from the Ether tablet. That's what gets you into Mire.
Oh, yeah. So Mire is full clearable based off the items that we know. Obviously, neither player has those items right now.
Yeah, both players missing one piece of the puzzle.
I just want to correct myself real quick. I said Pyramid Fair earlier for Sigma, and I kind of forgot he hadn't done Skull Woods. I don't know why I was thinking there. So anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah. Anyway, we have the big key in the second chest, so we will not have to take a trip to the basement yet.
No coffee break yet, but we shall see.
We've only been playing 45 minutes. You shouldn't need a coffee break this soon.
That's true. Sigma with the flips can check Waterfall Cave, which ALTTTPR could not. So hook shots here.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that ALTTTPR could have rather easily sequence broke to, but he just never did for whatever reason.
And there was nothing there, just some rupees, about 70 of them.
I mean, it's still something you have to consider checking as ALTTTPR with this nice bomb jump. Pretty easy to get through.
That was a nice bomb jump. If you miss that bomb jump, you fall 2 floors, so it's definitely risky.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as Middle Hole on Moldorm, but a little bit more forgiving.
And speaking of Trolldorm, we're here. And ALTTTPR just makes quick work of him. That was nice.
Yeah, that was very well executed. Having the sword helps. Knowing that holding the sword out makes it virtually impossible to get knocked off, but just getting a good pattern off Moldorm makes it even easier. As Sigma's got his other cane.
Yeah, he does. He has both arcanes now, and
yeah. So it's Hook, Fire, Ice, and Quake, and we know the locations of 2 of them.
That is true.
So ALTTTPR, he's going to take this back road into East Death Mountain. That'll give him the 7 items in Paradox Cave, the item in Spiral Cave, and he can check Super Bunny Cave and the first item of Hookshot Cave. It'll also tell him what if he wants, he can open up the portal for Turtlewack to see what medallion he needs for that, if that's Bombos.
Very good point. And we do obviously know where all the medallions are, but they don't, but we do. But I think we mentioned that already. And looks like Sigma is going to check the Lumberjack, and oh boy,
indeed, that's definitely going to be helpful. The question is it going to be helpful enough? Because he still has to devote the time to doing it. And ALTTTPR could easily find something up here in DM that makes this whole thing that much more worth it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that could very well be Hookshot, and which we do not know where it's at, and Ice Rod, which I think is really the only 2 items that we don't know that we need, that we don't know where they're at.
Yep, Hookshot and Ice Rod are the only 2 we need. Meanwhile, ALTTTPR's gonna check Paradox Cave.
And I know it's a little... Go ahead.
It's still not a ton of health for either runner. Only 8 hearts apiece. Granted, red mail and blue mail, but I mean, it's not as much as you would hope. There's up to 9 for ALTTTPR. And the other penny.
And, oh yeah. And Sigma decided rightfully to just go straight to Aga. He's going to get that Fire Rod right away. I like that play from him. Just get it over with. But I imagine he probably feels a little behind. But he might feel okay if he thinks his opponent didn't go to pod.
Yeah, he would be correct in that guess. ALTTTPR's doing a very neat bit of routing, being able to check all 7 chests in Paradox Cave, then take that mirror back to go into Super Bunny Cave.
That was some good routing. That was very nice.
And with the mirror, he can just delete the blocks that are impeding him from going up the a quick way.
Now, I hate to be this guy, but we are getting to the point where we have to start thinking about it. As we mentioned, the 2 items that we don't know as our crowd and us don't know, is Hookshot and Ice Rod. Both these items, and by the way, Turtle Rock was Quake, I do believe. The only two items, or the two items that we don't know, Hookshot and Ice Rod, can both be on pedestal, and I think that's a legitimate concern right now.
I'm not so sure that was Quake to get into Turtle Rock. I didn't get a good glimpse of it because of, ironically, because of aLderzz FPS tracker, but if I were to guess, I would have said it was Ether. I'm sure we'll get a better look at it.
You're right, it was Ether. I said the wrong one. You are 100% right, it was Ether. I misspoke.
Alright, in that case, both of our runners have it. aLderzz, yeah, this is a Spike Cave check.
It's time to get spiky.
Yep, with the Cane of Burna, this is definitely in logic. 2 red potions as well. He shouldn't need them.
Yeah, and half magic.
Yeah, Cane of Burna and half magic. This is free. As long as he remembers to pull out the cane at the right time.
Yeah. He could have probably made his way back and then did with something else with that much magic, but, you know, we're all good.
And just a big 20, but, yeah, again, it's one of those places you have to check. So Sigma making his way very quickly up to Aga. So let's see what aLderzz decides to do. His lead with the Fire Rod about to run out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at this point, once Sigma gets the Fire Rod, I would say that Sigmund, even though he's got one less dungeon done, which is a pendant, so you don't necessarily need that, so they have 2 crystals each, I would say Sigmund's at a bit of an advantage, depending on how long it takes aLderzz to get the pod.
A little bit. It also depends on how much is Sigma going to prioritize checking all of Death Mountain, because, I mean, there was, like, what, nothing there? A shield, I guess?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot there. I mean, yeah, obviously it's a good play to check those because usually there's something there.
There is huge, yeah. But Sigma, one quirk of the randomizer, these RNG-related bosses, the Aghanim fights, they're going to be the same for both runners. So Sigma's going to get the same 3 blue balls pattern that aLderzz got, assuming he doesn't miss any shots.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a really nice thing. And that's true for Ganon warps as well, and the other Aga fight. If you were playing NMG any percent and you were racing somebody, that would not be the case. So, we saw a bomb jump on aLderzz side, by the way, and he saw him using the bonk strats. If you don't know, you need about 2 pixels for a regular bomb jump, but if you bonk like he did, it gives you an extra 6 or so.
Yeah, I believe it's a 6 or 7 pixel window with the bootstraps. But Sigma has cleared Aga 1, so all he has to do is pick up that Fire Rod, and then he will have removed all of aLderzz's advantage in that regard.
Absolutely, and he's going straight there. I like this play.
And also, since aLderzz doesn't have the cane, he'll have to push this statue here in Skull Woods and make sure he avoids the hand.
Yep, absolutely. It might not be a big time sink for him, but that's going to be a bit more time Sigma can gain on aLderzz in Skull Woods.
Yeah, just a small key in that chest that I believe that's a vanilla big key.
Yes.
But in any case, he'll be able to continue on with the dungeon.
Have we seen an item in there yet? I didn't see.
I think we may have seen one, but that'd be about it. Right, we saw a big 20.
Okay.
Also, interesting, with the mirror and the book, aLderzz can head check immediately after leaving if he wants to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be curious to see if he decides to do that. I may at this point, especially with 2 items.
You know, with the way things are going, and for him, there are 4 items that he needs. And there's also the fact that he's cleared one of the pendant dungeons. The second one of them is Thieves Town, of all places, which he's already cleared the front half of.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. And he's right there, so if pet is required, he can just go straight down and finish that out. Which that's true for both runners, for that matter.
Yeah, of course, neither runner knows that about the other 100%, as aLderzz into the Mothula fight.
That was a great Mafia fight, by the way.
Yep, that is the end of the Moth Radio Hour, a very abrupt end, mind you, but just the map.
So if we still have one item remaining, that means he's got to go back in and get that really out-of-the-way chest there.
And Sigma getting the bomb jump on the left side first try, very nicely done. Just bonks his way back.
Now we've had quite a bit of route divergence in this run so far, and I gotta admit, you know, it's kind of fun seeing them both basically at the same spot. Oh, and another big 20, so yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things you still have to check.
Oh, absolutely have to. And Chad making a good point. aLderzz would probably benefit more if this was a ped seed, because he'd taken him right to pod.
Yeah, and pod definitely a trove. And let's see what's on that pedestal. He's making the play.
I believe it was Cape. Good old Cape.
Yep, that is the Cape of Invisibility. A little less broken than the Harry Potter series. Still plenty useful most of the time.
But if I remember correctly,
will
Bumper
not do
Ledge had
anything
nothing.
here. The Bumper Ledge just had a heart container.
Yeah, so womp womp womp.
Head's dead. That will send aLderzz elsewhere. Let's see what elsewhere he has in mind.
Is he gonna go back to Thieves Town?
That would be very strange for him to go back to Thieves Town, especially because he's checked Bumper Cave. He knows.
It's a valid point. Ah, he's checking hammer pegs. Got it. Sigma making quick work here of Mothula as well. GG. I'm guessing he's going to make that same play to pedestal. Alright, so aLderzz making his way through the Graveyard, some of those other stuff here. Yeah, aLderzz has to get the pod. That's going to be the big thing right now. Alright, and he made the pet play for Sigma, like you said, just the cape, so he knows now that he doesn't have to worry about that, so that's a plus. So basically, as Chad mentioned, aLderzz really has to get the pod. It's going to be a while before he gets there, potentially, because he's running out of options, though. He is running out of options. I mean, he could check the first few chests of Swamp. That's not the best situation. Ice Palace is completable, not full clearable either. Meyer is full clearable if you want the pod, but it's not for him, but you can get some items. So let's see where we go here. Alright, so let's see here. aLderzz going to check the Bomb Dose tablet. I like this play. I didn't see chat or somebody let me out. I didn't see what was in the purple chest as Sigma gets whatever was on Ether, and the Heart Piece and Bomb Dose. Fair enough. And Sigma's making the Hera play as well. Okay. Valid point, Tame Venture. I forgot he doesn't have flips. That is also in pod, and I think that's where he's going right now. I think he's going to head to pod right now. Okay, so... Okay, aLderzz is actually making the Pyramid Fairy check. This is a good play here. It is obviously available, Skullwoods and Eastern with red, so I like this play as well. This is a pretty good play, and aLderzz using the wise knowledge that after you beat Agawon, you have that portal right in front of the pyramid, so might as well make use of it. Oh, Sigma misses the bomb jump, and he's gonna fall not one, but 2 floors. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, right now, thanks to the pod play, I would say Sigma has a bit of an advantage. But it can all change in a hurry, you know? You never know where Hookshot is. It was not in Pyramid Fairy. I didn't think we'd seen anything there, but... so right now we're in a bit of a hunt here. Ice Rod, we all know how trolly Ice Rod can be. That could be in Turtle Rock, which by the way is also available for our runners, for Sigma at least. Obviously not for aLderzz, and he is going to make the pod play. So this is big. He's going to get his 2 items. Remember, Sigma did not do Helmasaur King, and there is an item we believe on Helma that could hold something important. Right now, we just kind of have to hope for aLderzz's sake he doesn't just nope right on out once he gets Cane of Samaria. I think, as far as the T-Rock dive goes, Nif Boy. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Nif Boy. He is our tracker today, doing a great job as always. And No Name 4444. I think I had ones made for it. I apologize. No Name 44s, 4444. For the restream. Thank you both very much here. But right now, as far as Sigma is concerned, that might not be a bad play. I mean, he's got Swamp open to an extent. He can also clear Ice Palace, but it may not be full clearable for Ice Palace either. So there's a lot of interesting decisions that the runners can make right now. Alright, aLderzz picking up his Cane of Samaria here. And thankfully not noping right out, hopefully. It does not appear he's going to, so he will get his flips, I think. Yes. So that will be big. But right now, the Hook Shot and Ice Rod is all we need for go mode, and for eventually aLderzz as well, but for Sigma right now, he's going to bonk that first one. I don't remember if aLderzz bonked this first one or not, but... And it was just a heart container anyway. All right, so I see Sigma. Sorry, I had to step out for a second there. I apologize, guys. But all right, we are making the Sigma or the Turtle Rock medallion. Words are hard. The Turtle Rock play. I like this play. Sigma's got to do. He knows he's got to make these plays right now. Again, he is down 1-0 in this best of 3. A loss here would mean his tournament life is over. aLderzz does have one more. Can lose, and then we go straight to a game 3. I don't know when they're going to do that offhand. I don't think it's scheduled next. They already did race 1 today. 3 in 1 day would be rough for anybody. They have till next Sunday or so, yeah, no worries there. All right, so aLderzz is going to go straight to Helmasaur here. So if he's holding, this is huge. If he's holding either the Ice Rod or the Hook Shot, that could be game set match, folks. It may not, crazy things happen, but it would be hard pressed for me to believe that Sigma would go back to Pod anytime in the near future. Yeah, Sigma taking the scrub route there without the Hook Shot. That is, if you don't know that could be kind of rough to learn real quick. But I'm sure I know these runners though probably would have no issues with that. They already know the strats. Alright, aLderzz making his way through the dark rooms here with the lamp, obviously, not too bad. That turtle room can be a bit of a pain if you don't have Tempered Sword, but with Tempered, you hammer them, flip them over, 1 shot, dead, good to go. Alright. You see aLderzz here, using the sword poke strat here, gives you a little bit more of a hitbox, or slight bit more, makes it a little bit safer for Helmasaur, but not too bad. Gets the silver arrow, 1 down, Helmasaur King is dead. Let's see what he gets. Oh my god, it's the Hook Shot! Folks, that is unbelievable. Hook Shot on Helma King. Sigma noped out, and he could have full cleared it at that time. Oh my god. That is brutal. Had that have been any other item, that could have been even... Yeah. That is brutal. It's gonna take... I'm not gonna call it the crazy things happen, but man, that hurts. That's gonna take a lot right now for Sigma. He just has to go back, and that play just doesn't seem wise, and isn't wise for that one item. Oh my, that pod though. I mean, we still are missing an Ice Rod, so let's keep that in mind. We don't know where the Ice Rod's at, but oh my god. Yeah, your heart hurts for Sigma because he made that pod play, and it was obviously the right play, and then he skipped out on Helma, and you understand why he did it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Algernon, welcome back. You have missed some big-time developments, is all I can say.
Oh boy. So that's what happens when you get a random power outage. What happened?
Hook shot on Homa King.
Oh no. And I assume that's aLderzz who went back into and found everything there?
Yeah, aLderzz went and did everything. Sigma needs to go back in a bad way. By the way, Ice Rod was also in Turtle Rock in the big chest. We just found that.
Because of course it is. So aLderzz, that probably puts him in just about go mode, doesn't it?
Once we're in no mode with aLderzz because he doesn't have the Ice Rod yet, but for all intents and purposes, yeah.
Okay. For aLderzz, he will be heading to Turtle Rock in almost certain likelihood. From there he'll be finding the Ice Rod, then he's in go mode. I assume Sigma taking on Trinex rather shortly.
Yeah, yep, he's making his way through. He's still got Laser Bridge yet. aLderzz does have Swamp and Ice, so I imagine he's probably going to do those first and probably full clear him, but it's not going to matter at this point, I don't think.
Well, I mean, this is Randomizer. You can never count anything out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Rand. This is why, folks, you never tell that. Why I try never really say who has a true lead until all the cards are on the table, because that happens. And Homo with Hail Hook Shot.
That happens. That's a very good way to put it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Whew. So at this point, Magic Powder, by the way, was on Laser Bridge. So that was a nice find, not necessary, but nice find. Although he might check Magic Bat for the hook shot, Sigma probably will, to be honest.
Yeah, that'll just put him further and further behind. You would never think to do that.
No, I mean, it's one of those things. You understand why a player would decide not to full clear, finish out the boss, one item left in the pendant dungeon, but that does happen. I'm kind of one of those like, always stick to your play, finish it out, but you also understand why, and sometimes it helps, sometimes it hurts, and it hurt today.
Sigma should know better, though. That's the thing I'm getting at. Sigma got burned on almost this exact same play in Game 1, and it might knock him out of the tournament.
You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. But, stick to your guns, stick to the way you play. I understand that, too.
I mean, yeah, the numbers say one item, there's so much else left out there, and you've already seen so much that's just amazing. But at the same time, something about this randomizer, sometimes the log statistics just decide to take a nap.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Sports Jaffe, Sports, whatever. I apologize, I butchered your name. You are right, aLderzz can't feel great right now. He obviously doesn't know where his opponent is. I don't think either one of these runners is feeling overly great. And he is on the quest to look for the Ice Rod, and obviously we know it's NT Rock because it's always NT Rock when it's the last item.
I mean, there were several versions where almost, because the only thing you need the Ice Rod for ever is Trinex, basically it was always in Turtle Rock, so it's still, there's some lingering logic math from that says if you're only looking for Ice Rod, Turtle Rock is probably your best place to go.
That is a valid point. Right now he's in Meyer finishing that out. I'm going to be very curious to see where he goes right now. For Sigma, that we know, obviously if he goes to Swamp, and if aLderzz goes to Swamp and Ice, and Sigma makes the unbelievable play of going to Pod eventually. Right now he is in Misery Mire as well.
I mean, Misery Mire is, he's got the chance to Mire. You don't need to hook shot to clear out Mire. He's just gonna full clear everything and hope to get to it, and then at some point he's gotta realize his mistake, I hope.
Yeah, agreed. The good news for him is he can't complete Swamp, although you can see him dipping in the Swamp. Ice Palace isn't full clearable, but could be depending on keys, so maybe he skips those two and decides to go back. but he's got Thieves Town, the back of Thieves Town yet. We gotta remember that too.
Yeah. Has he checked pedestal?
Yes, he checked pedestal after Smallwoods.
Right, he checked that. All right, so Skullwood's down for both of them.
And that actually might be worse for him. If pedestal was still in his mind, he might go complete Helmosaur real quick.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that, like we talked about earlier. If ALTTTPR had found that Ped was required, he would have gone to Pod earlier and gotten, well, Treasure Pod, living up to that little moniker. Also, I do want to apologize to chat. Power's still out here. I am connected through a phone, a portable battery, and a Bluetooth headset. But we're making a go of it, and I just didn't want Dunker to be too lonely for too long.
Oh, I appreciate it. We Ohio boys got to stick together.
Yeah, well, at this point, it's probably, based on ALTTTPR's time, he's probably getting close to the back half of Misery Mire.
ALTTTPR is done with Mire. He's going right to Swamp. Sigma is finishing out Mire right now. He's actually finishing up some final stuff.
Yeah, ALTTTPR, he'll probably also check the 2 items on the left side of Swamp. He did it last time, he got rewarded. Won't pay off as well this time. I mean, it could give him like Butter Sword or something, but I don't expect he'll go out of his way for that.
Yeah, agree. At this point, I mean,
it's one of those things where he has been meticulous in making sure that he doesn't leave any stones unturned, and it's just, it won in game 1. It's probably going to win in game 2 at this rate.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's why they call it risk reward. Sometimes, you know, you make those gambles, and I mean, I wouldn't even call what Sigma did a huge gamble, but it was a bit of a gamble, and you know, the odds were not in his favor today.
Yeah, I mean, that's something about the randomizer. Sometimes you can play perfectly and still lose. That's one of the things that makes it both exciting and infuriating.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, so Sigma here will be going to the Vidi fight. He's still in the front part of Misery Mire. I thought he found the second item, but he only found the first. So right now, you know, just for the record, you know, I know we're kind of being doom and gloom a little bit on Sigma, but you know, anything can happen. We still talk about, you know, ALTTTPR's could, you know, we have nerves. You have all kinds of other things that could happen. You know, maybe he gets in the GT and after the torches goes up the staircase at the wrong time. And oh, speaking of butter, it's in Swamp.
There it is. Not on the left side, but that's definitely going to help ALTTTPR even more. Blue Mail, Silvers, Butter. I mean, he's going to have everything he could possibly ask for, except for the Red Mail. He knows exactly where he is. He doesn't want any part of that.
Exactly. I forgot he didn't pick up that Red Mail earlier.
Yeah, for him, it was Blue Mail. It was at the race game. And then the other one was, I believe that was it. No, that was at Digging Game.
Yeah, they race. No, it was race for the red.
Had one, Digging Game had the other.
Oh, but they both had one. Okay, that's right. I misheard you. And interesting that they both had nails.
Yeah, I remember chat bringing it up really because it's just really weird that those 2 spots would happen to both have it, because they're kind of in the exact same place in the Underworld, aren't they?
Yeah, they're literally the same spot.
1 in 216 chance is a 102 in 216 chance.
I want to point out chat saying that ALTTTPR could full clear the world. That is true, but most likely Sigma is too, unless he makes a crazy pod play. And it would be statistically pretty crazy at this point to do it.
It would be crazy, especially given the fact that he had invested so much time into it the first time and then just bailed instead of going through the big key door. He could have full cleared it his first run through.
Yeah, there was nothing stopping him. He had hammer. Remember, he had hammer at that point. He sequence broke and got it before he had the lamp. So, ALTTTPR's having a pretty good fight. Had a great fight on Argus there. Nicely done.
I mean, Argus is one of those that I mean, especially with his equipment, it should be really trivial. Just a little bit time consuming with those puffballs, but with the butter sword, that's not a problem at all.
No, not one bit. All right, so the moment of truth for me for Sigma right here. Where does he go? I mean, I can't imagine he goes to pod, but maybe that play's lingering in his head. And he
I mean,
went to
they're
8.
what? Yeah, close to 8, so yep, that's Ice Palace. I mean, he's what, 75 minutes into the run? He's only a hookshot away from go mode at this point.
Exactly, and it's interesting. I mean, again, for anyone new joining us and doesn't quite know what's going on, we are in what we as commentators like to call no mode. We know where all the items that are necessary to beat the game are, but right now the runners don't. So aLderzz doesn't know that the Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock, and Sigma doesn't know the hookshot.
Sigma doesn't know that the hookshot's in on a Helmet King through the Palace of Darkness.
Exactly, and as we said before, he had already been in there full cleared it up until the point of beating the boss and noped out, and that's probably what's going to end up costing him the match and the entire match.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to ask about in the interviews because, I mean, like I said, that's 2 times in a row that's happened to him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I mean, when you think about it, you understand the decision. You already found 2 major progression items in pod at that point. You found the Kiyosamari, you found the flippers. What's the chances of a third being there?
Also, he found Bombos, which this time could have been what gets him into Misery Mire Turtle Rock, and those are both crystals. That could have been 3 progression items.
Absolutely.
The odds for there is just mind-boggling, and it turns out Bombos was a dud, but he has no way of knowing that.
That's insane. Like, almost every item in pod was an important item. As aLderzz here making his way through Left Side Swamp, Sigma making his way through Ice Palace. He may not be able to full clear it, depending on the keys. I don't think he might be able to right now as he gets his bomb jump here. But he can clear it with the bomb jump, so there is that.
Yeah, he'll miss, trying to think, just 2, maybe 3 items. 3 chests he won't be able to get to without the hookshot if the keys don't line up.
I think so. Yeah.
That takes up. I'll say that takes up at least 1 of the items. So at most 1, maybe 2 actual items. I believe there are 3 in Ice Palace normally.
Yeah, 3 items in ice.
Yeah, so hopefully for his sake he finds the items really quick and can just go mode the rest of the dungeon.
Okay. Yeah, this is.
Meanwhile, aLderzz.
He's gonna try a bomb jump.
Oh, okay, interesting. I mean, your only other option is to hover. I'm not sure if he has that in his bag of tricks.
It is possible to bomb jump this jump, but it is insanely hard.
Yeah, I mean, the normal Ice Palace bomb jump, there's a really easy flowchart guide to get you through it. It's still pixel perfect, but as long as you can just line yourself up and consult the flowchart, it's easy every time. This one, on the other hand, you almost have to just do it almost by feel, you'd think.
Yeah.
One of those things where if you haven't done it before, you have to just completely figure it out on the fly.
Yeah,
these are some of these tricks that the runners have, especially at the higher levels. You're never required to use them to beat the game in these tournament modes, but having them can just save you a ton of time and grief.
Oh, absolutely.
Or in this case, save you from having to deal with an item that you otherwise can't get to, or wouldn't think to get to.
True. I don't think I've been paying close enough attention to the keys here. I don't think... Did we get a key enough to where Hookshot could possibly be on the side? It is possible. It has happened in this very chest that he's at right now with the Spike Room. But it is rare, so that might have been a mistake. depending on what the Freezor room chest is.
And Alder's probably, is he also doing Ice Palace, or is he made to play the Turtle Rock?
He's in Ice Palace.
Right, just clearing up that last crystal before he goes to Turtle Rock and finishes things off.
Yep.
You said it was in a big chest?
T-Rock, yeah, I believe so.
That's definitely going to be something he checks along the way, so it'll still be a bit before he's in go mode, but once he's in go mode, he'll be in a ready, set, and hyper go mode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Alright, well, Sigma coming to that realization that most likely Hookshot's not here in Ice Palace.
Which really just limits him to where else could it be? I mean, has he checked Death Fountain yet? Right, he probably did that and comboed that with a Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's what he did. I think the only things that I'm aware of is the first part of Swamp he can do. The back of Thieves Town still available. That's the two biggest ones that have a relative high amount of items available yet.
I want to say there's 2 items left in Thieves Town in the back. I know we saw the big key, and I want to say the compass in the front.
I believe you are right, and it is also a green pendant, so it's effectively 3.
Right. There's the hospital's item he can turn in. There's also the pyramid theory. Did that get checked?
ALTTTPR definitely did that. I can't remember if Sigma did, but yeah, obviously it had nothing. But I can't remember if Sigma checked it or not.
Okay, so yeah, there's still a number of other items that he could check before getting that sinking realization that it's sitting on Helmasaur King.
Yeah, the absolutely disastrous realization.
I mean, he seemed rather calm when he found the bow in Game 1 in the left side of Swamp, and he found that really late. I want to say that aLderzz was making his way to GT when Sigma finally found that, because he was just finishing up with his last crystal when aLderzz got done.
Gotcha. That's rough. What a fun match though, guy. I might as well do this now as we're sitting here while these runners get through the last of the dungeons for ALTTTPR before he goes to T-Rock and Sigma makes his unfortunate quest for the hook shot. Both these runners have been playing awesome. Make sure you give them a follow. aLderzz, Sigma, they're playing their butts off for you today, and it's been a fun race.
Oh yeah, from what I remember seeing of Sigma, both in this game and the previous game, it's not that he's been doing badly, he's just been making gambles that don't pay off, and those gambles very easily could have just been junk items in those few chests that he decides not to pick, and this whole thing flipped on its head. I mean, there's nothing that's been wrong about his execution, I'll say that much.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Yeah, like we said before, that's rando.
And I'm sure I'd be able to give much better commentary if I could, see what's going on, but power outages, what are you gonna do?
Alright, understandable. Well, he's getting that portal that could go to Pod or could go to Swamp. What will he do? I mean, Swamp's the obvious.
Which portal are you talking about? The one near Hype Cave?
Yeah.
It's probably a Swamp play. If he was
it's not. He's getting the Pyramid Fairy, so he hasn't done that yet, but that might take him right to Pod.
Yeah, Pod is in the area. You think if he was doing Pod, he would have flew to 5 and taken that portal.
True. I'll be curious to see what he does. If he makes kind of the crazy play, goes to Pod first after Pyramid Fairy.
Because Swamp's the last thing he needs, right?
Yes. And then he could go mode Swamp.
And that's super quick.
Yeah, and ALTTTPR had to full clear it.
And ALTTTPR also is going to have to full clear Turtle Rock, or at least all the way up to the big chest. Like, that's not an insignificant amount of time.
No, it's quite a bit of time.
Was there a key on Laser Bridge? Is the other question.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, that's fair. Because if he has to do Laser Bridge on top of all that, sure, he's got the Chain of Brian, but that's...
Oh. He
He's
just
on the
mirrors
swamp.
back to the light world. What are you doing here, man? Don't do it. Don't go to the swamp. He's probably going to swamp. He's going back to that portal. Just kind of an interesting way of going about that, but...
Yeah, it's, I mean, he probably just fluted to 7.
No, he never flew it. He went back to Light World.
Walked back from
Yeah, he just
from the
ran back to Link's house and then came back to that portal. Now he's going down the swamp. So that...
yeah, that's not good. That's not what he needed.
No. There was if he would have went straight to pod, this would have been an incredibly close race at that point. But right now he is doing Bombo's tablet, which had nothing, and probably swamp right after
Ether
that.
Tablet had something. That's right. Ether Tablet had Quake to get into a Turtle Rock.
Right, he does have that, so obviously.
Right. Because he got the Ice Rod out, yeah.
Oh, what a race! What a seed! What a race! Fire Rod, Fire Rod, and Lumberjack.
Soul, the Hookshot Soul. I mean, yeah, Fire Rod, Lumberjack, Hookshot at Pendant Helma King, along with all the other goodies in Pendant Pod.
Yeah, this has been a seed. I mean, other than those two things, it's not horrible, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's been largely mundane, but those two things more than make up for it. That's the thing.
Absolutely. As aLderzz here is making the T-Rock play, which is, as we know, the right play. There was some other stuff he could have checked, but he's just making the right play.
Yeah, T-Rock's got, I believe, 5 items in it, so it's a pretty dense location naturally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, this will probably be his first time coming up here with Hookshot. He might check Hookshot Cave here as well.
That is true. He is opening T-Rock right now, but he might make his way over real quick. That is something that people do.
Yeah, it's not that bad a detour, for sure.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He is going straight over to Hookshot Cave. I like this play. I mean, obviously we know it's not the right play, but it is a smart play.
Yeah, just why not give yourself access to more items along the way? Because if Hookshot is in there, or if Ice Rod is in there, then you go all the way through Turtle Rock, you find that, then you have to double back. Just good routing.
Yeah, absolutely. I just still can't, you still feel sick for Sigma. That pit in the stomach for him, because, he's played his butt off. That just one decision. I mean, I guess both decisions were rough. Not checking Lumberjack Cave, but a lot of people do that before they have boots. And because he went to pod early, which actually helped him, and then obviously ended up hurting him because he didn't do Helma King. But
yeah, I mean, if he just full clears that, he's probably got a huge lead on. He's probably got a huge lead. He's probably got the game well in hand.
I would agree. I think he'd be easily in GT right now.
Yeah, but that's sometimes you don't make the plays that win you the game, and sometimes you make the plays that lose you the game. But sometimes you make the plays that win and don't make the plays that lose. You have no way of knowing. And the other thing is, with as trolly as things may have been, it's entirely possible your opponent missed it as well. So Hookshot Cave, I'm guessing, didn't have anything good, otherwise you would have mentioned it, although I'm not sure what exactly aLderzz could be looking for.
Yeah, at this point, he's got butter, he's got red mail, so silvers are good. It's just obviously just that ice rod. There was nothing there of note.
Yeah, I mean, at best, there's like a blue goo in a bottle. I think he had 3 when power went out.
Yeah. Sigma actually has 4, so I don't remember where he got the 4th, but Hookshot Cave did have the red meringue, so that is the item of importance.
You mean the inferior model?
You know.
That was the green leaf.
That's fair. The lag meringue.
Yeah, so about now, ALTTTPR should be heading into Turtle Rock. It is quite labyrinthine, although with the lamp, it's that one dark room with the Cancer Mario Maze is going to be pretty easy. Should have a decent time of it. How many hearts does he have? That's pretty much the one thing that might slow him down a little.
Well, he has 15 total hearts, but he's only got 5 right now, so he's gotta be a little careful.
I remember him having at least one red goo, maybe 2. I'm not sure if he didn't use them while I was able to see, so.
Nah, I'm pretty sure he hasn't had any as well. He's actually just went to the big key chest in Turtle Rock, so he's quite a ways into Turtle Rock already.
Wow, yeah, he's just blazing through this.
But he doesn't have any magic powder compared to Sigma, who does, so that is something to keep in mind with the heart situation.
Okay, he won't be able to duck the anti-fairies. That's probably one of the really important reasons to pick up powder, especially for Turtle Rock in a bit of case for GT.
Sigma heading back up Death Mountain here. I don't think he's done Spike Cave, so I'm guessing that's where he's going next.
Yeah, it's just he's got these bunch of one-off places that he can check and hope that one of them's in a place that's so trolly that even ALTTTPR didn't come across it, but little does he know that he's a mile behind.
Yeah. ALTTTPR's just getting his ice rod here, so he's gonna have to do Laser Bridge for the final key, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem with Canterburna.
Yeah, at approximately, let's call it 97 minutes, give or take, ALTTTPR's in go mode. Doing a little math in my head.
Yeah, 136 and some change. I didn't pay close enough attention to the seconds, but
close enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Not bad for a guy who can't see it right now.
Well, neither rain nor sleet nor power outages will keep this commentator from his appointed rounds as long as he remembers to get his privacy settings on the computer figured out.
Yeah, this was a bad omen from the get-go. But you know what, we're doing. I gotta say, for all the circumstance, you were doing a great job nonetheless. So it's been a fun commentary with you here. So I do appreciate it.
Likewise. So if he's on Laser Bridge, he probably ALTTTPR should be closing in on Trinex if he's not in the fight already.
He's close. He just got on he's going on the final platform going up to Trinex. He just used one of his red potions. He got the key, so he must have went, I think, at the very bottom chest or one of the bottom 2, because magic powder was on the top chest, I believe.
Okay.
With the butter sword making quick work of Trinex so far, already past the 2 heads,
absolutely.
Going to the 3rd head here.
I believe it just takes like 2 or 3 flashes, and that one's down too. And that'll be time for Hyrule's favorite guessing game. Since you can actually see what's going on, would you like to do the honor?
Yep, absolutely. Now, we're not on the Speed Gaming channel, so we don't have the bot, but everyone remembers, we all like to guess where the big key guessing game is. So in chat, put your guess in 1 to 22 of where you think that big key is going to be. All right, will it be late? Will it be Tile Room? Will it be the very first chest? Let us know. I'm going to go with 5. How about you?
Wait, you're going with 5? Like the second one, the Southwest Room?
Sure, why not?
I picked chest number 5. That's mine. Fine. Okay, I'll say Rando Room, top left chest.
All right, top left Rando Room. All right.
All right, walk me through it.
All right, we're opening up GT now as Sigma actually went to Terra. He actually never completed Hera. I didn't realize at the time. He noped out after the failed bomb jump, so he finished Hera up.
The big chest?
Yeah, and it failed, and he failed and fell through.
Yeah, that's just another kind of a slap in the face. Like, he's
Yeah.
right
Well,
there. and
earlier in
just
the run, they did that. aLderzz is making this. He went right first, but did not get a small key, so he's going to have to go left.
Yeah, you have to think that he's ahead. Maybe he feels a tiny bit behind with everything in pod, but at the same time, he's been clearing everything so methodically, and it's paid off so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm with you. If he probably feels pretty even. You always think your runner did the best routing, and he might feel a little bit behind because he put off pod so much. You might have thought, which actually was the case.
But he went that extra mile that ended up being so critical.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so it wasn't 5. We are through the Stelphos room. Nothing of note there.
So that would bring us to 8 in the double firebar room.
Yep, that'll be number 8. He's about to check that right now, and that's a small key, so we're through 8. Sigma is in Thieves Town, finishing that up.
He's gonna go through all of that, yeah. Did he complete Tower of Hera, or at least kill Moldorm?
Yes, he did. Which I think both items were there anyway.
Yeah, it sounds about. I want to say, because others didn't have to go into the basement. I think that must have been the map.
Yeah. All right.
So it would be Fire Snake room for 9.
We're making our way through that right now. That's a Pizza Hut.
Alright, so Rando room in play, 10 through 13. Here we go, rolling the dice.
aLderzz bombing it now. There's a little bit of frustration showing there. Planted a couple of extra bombs just for good measure.
Like, this is going to be the hypest blind pull of all blind pulls if I actually nail this, I'm just saying.
Which one did you say?
Top left.
Bottom right.
Oh, I was so close, except not really.
Yeah. No, it ended up being 13 total.
It probably would have been chest number 10 if he took bottom right first.
He went bottom right last, so it ended up being 13.
13. A lucky 13 black paying out, but aLderzz will be making his way up again with power.
Yep, absolutely. And, making his way through the gauntlet. Gauntlet is called the gauntlet for a reason, but at this point, it would take something pretty catastrophic to really turn this around for Sigma. Obviously not having the
hook shot, yeah. But, he's got Fire Rod and Half Magic, he's got Butter Sword, he's got Bow and Silvers. This should be pretty free, just don't take too many hits from the B mode.
Yeah, that will be the critical part. I'll be curious see if he decides to go to the fairy room or not here through the cannonball room. He's going to skip out. That's understandable. He has 7 hearts right now, I believe. If I can count.
I think you said I think he has a second red potion.
That he does, and he hasn't used it quite yet.
Yeah, there's also a couple magic refills along the way that he doesn't need to stop in the fairy room to pick up.
Yep. Making it through room 2, getting to the icy rooms here. I was room 3, this is room 4. Now we're on 5.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more treacherous, but I'm sure aLderzz knows what he's doing. He shouldn't have too many problems.
Yeah, he got through that really good without taking a single bit of damage either, I don't think. So that was really, really a nice fight. And he gets a 1 cycle Silver's Ramolus. Nicely done.
He got a 1 cycle on Lambo 1, didn't you say?
I think it was him. That might have been Sigma. I can't quite remember.
I'm sure we'll be able to watch it back, yeah.
And
yeah, I'm definitely going to have to watch this VOD back.
Oh, absolutely. It's been fun. Sigma turned into the green pendant to Sarasrala. At this point, I can't think of any other location he hasn't been to, and he is going to make that pod play. That feeling that he has to have right now.
Yeah, he may have a fully dark tracker at this point, aside from Swamp and that one item in Pod.
Very close to it. We haven't found the mushroom of all things, but
I guess that's deeper in a GT.
yeah.
So if ALTTTPR was Lane Motif, he probably should be coming up on Moldorm shortly.
Yep. Almost there. Got through that one where you have to bomb the wall. Now you have the anti-fairy bunny room thing.
And again, with Buttersword, it should just be, I think, just 2 slashes takes it out.
Signal C, yes. The first race, the biggest difference there was aLderzz did left side swamp and Sigma didn't, and that cost him there too.
Left side had the bow.
And left side had both.
Yeah, that was the defining moment of Game 1. In this game, it's Pod that had the hookshot on Helmasaur King, apparently making the difference.
Oh yeah, that was easily the difference. If he would have finished out, I think Sigma would have won this race by quite a large margin, to be honest with you. And it's not like aLderzz played bad; just the routing ended up working out better for Sigma. I always call him Sigmund. Sorry about that. And because he went to Pod first, I think that routing actually was better, even though he didn't know Lumberjack for the longest time.
Yeah, I mean, just one of those things that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Do we have a Moldorm fall?
No, I didn't see that, but aLderzz is on. Just beat Aga 2, actually, so.
Alright, so this should be ending for him pretty shortly.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to Big Pig time, folks.
Do we have slug facts at the Big Pig?
We have what?
The Pulmonate Gastropod Ganaspiel. Never mind.
I'm out of it. Sorry. I didn't catch that one.
You need to get with the lingo, man.
I know. I'm still relatively new. Only been playing since February.
I mean, you're still doing a great job helping me along. Like, I can see kind of what he's doing thanks to you. And it means a lot that you're able to help me help you with this.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's been fun commentary. You're a great commentator as well. You're doing a heck of a job, obviously, with the circumstances at hand. Can't ask for anything better. And we are already on warp.
Yeah, more pressing circumstances. ALTTTPR has a pig to skewer to secure his place in the round of 64.
Yep. And Sigma, that unfortunate. He didn't even grab the pendant. I don't blame him. He just noped out as soon as he got hookshot. Sigma, that realization, I'm sure, was not a good one.
No, because he has to realize he's behind. The question is, does he realize how far behind he is? The answer is way too far.
Oh yeah, considering I think this is the last one. I think one more arrow will do it. Oh no, I miscounted. So we got one more.
All right, setting it up, and game shot in the second leg and the frame. ALTTTPR will be advancing to the round of 64 with a well, you can give an official SRL time. I can't get to the website.
Yeah. Absolutely. ALTTTPR here is just about to walk in, going through the fanfare. GG to aLderzz as he makes it into the Triforce room without that weird glitch thing that happens. And ALTTTPR, oh, I'm dumb.
Why are you dumb?
Oh, no, something I did on my computer. Well,
you closed the channel, didn't you?
No, maybe. I got it up. I don't see an official time, though.
Alright, so we'll call it unofficial, let's say...
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it all. Okay, there was a lot of talk after that. 1:48:31.
1:48:31. That's a fair time for the trolls that he gave. So you want to see if you can bring aLderzz in for a quick chat? I won't be staying that long, but I can at least offer a few things.
Yeah, no problem. And just for the record, Sigmason did forfeit right after that, understandably so. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say as I blame, but maybe we can get a quick talk with them both. But yes, aLderzz will be advancing, unfortunately, for Sigmason. That is the end of his tournament. Still did very well in his 2 bracket races. Definitely deserves a follow. aLderzz also deserves a follow. Both these guys played wonderfully, even if I wasn't able to see the last hour of it. I'm sure it looked pretty well.
All right, so aLderzz will join us here. Oh, sorry. aLderzz will join us here for interview. Sigma is going to decline, which is definitely his option, and I understand that. So.
Yeah, I can't say as I blame him, given what he had to deal with so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am going to bring aLderzz in here. aLderzz, GG on the victory. How do you feel right now?
Yo, GG. I actually feel super, super lucky winning that second game, to be honest. I felt so behind.
Well, there's a funny story about that. I'm going to let Dunker explain because I'm actually on my phone. My power went out at around the hour mark, so I was relying a lot on him helping me along, but it sounds like, well, Dunker, why don't you explain it?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, in a nutshell, yes, Sigma went to pod far earlier than you did and got 3 of the 4, or got the flips and the Cansamaria. Unfortunately, he didn't do Homa King, obviously, and that was the major difference in this race.
Ouch. I kind of thought it was going to be something like that. Yeah, before I went into pod, when pod was almost the last thing there, I was like, wow, I'm going to be so behind because pod's going to have something. But then for it to turn around and have 3 progression items in it, I was like, wow, I'm so behind.
3 progression items and Mambos, although Mambos wasn't necessary. Yeah, it was pretty crazy to watch. And at the time, he actually didn't check Lumberjack Cave at first either, so you had that knowledge on him. And it took him a while to get there too.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where, yes, he had all that stuff from pod, but as soon as you go over there, you're right there with him. Plus, that early Lumberjack check. One of the other things I remember from game 1, a similar thing happened. You checked the left side of Swamp House and came up with the bow. Sigma did not check left side and had to double dip a lot later, and pretty much the same thing happened. Did you guys talk about that between games?
Yeah, we did a little bit after the first game, and then we spoke about this a little bit after this game as well. I know I tend not to skip. I lost my in my Swiss. I lost one of my games on left side swamp because Bo was there. And now if there's 2 chests, then it's worthwhile checking. It's not a massive time loss, but I mean it's more of a time loss obviously if there's something there. So you may as well check it when you're there already.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Definitely, you definitely played beautifully. You got done what you needed to get done. You did not leave any stone unturned, and in several times, both in this race and the last one, it proved to be what propelled you through is around the 64. How are you feeling about your races next week? Actually, I guess it's going to be in 2 weeks. We have a whole 7 more days to finish up round 1.
Yeah, it's good. I really didn't expect to get through to brackets, so any wins here, I'm super happy with, to be honest. Sigma's a good runner, so I'm super happy to get the win against him. And the game next week, whoever I'm playing out of, I think it's Rubel or Justin Z. So they're 2 pretty tough runners, so yeah, it'll be good next week.
I mean, tough runners can still run into rough patches, and I mean, that's the reason why we play the game. We have no clue what's going to happen until it's going to happen, so good luck out there.
Yeah, thanks very much, and thanks to you guys for the restream as always, and thanks commentator trackers, everyone. Do a great job, so thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Nif Boy, our tracker, and No Name 4444, our restreamer. Zunker, since you can actually see what's going on, would you like to take this home for us real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, thank you to Agranon here. I think I just butchered your name again. I apologize, but doing a great job with the circumstances, with the power outage and stuff, being able to come back and being dedicated. Thank you again. And thank you everybody for coming out. Again, if you haven't yet, make sure you go follow aLderzz and Sigma. Two very good runners. You saw that today. Unfortunately, you saw what happened to Sigma. Rando happens is a very good word for it. And both these runners, give them a follow because they put on a heck of a show today. aLderzz, once again, GG, and congratulations on making the round of 64. But have no fret, guys. We still have more rando coming your way. It is 5:30, so we have some going on right now on all sorts of different things. But at 6 o'clock, we got Dragon Master 0283 versus Trojan Dude. I'm guessing that's going to be on Speed Gaming. Check that out. And then just the schedule's all over the place. So, there's a ton of stuff going on. We're trying to get everything restreamed. So make sure you follow the Speed Gaming 1 through 6 channels and the ALTTP Randomizer channels as well, 1 through 4. And so on that note, aLderzz, do you have any final words for the evening?
No, nothing really. I need to work on my routing a little bit, I think. My execution was good, but yeah, my routing needs a little bit of work.
Well, if you're going to have a week to work on that, good luck to ya.
Thanks, guys.
All right. On that note, on behalf of everyone in the Speed Gaming community, I am Zunka to the rescue. Alganon, thank you again. Until next time, everybody, have a great night. Bye, everybody.
I'm a hunker down. Good night, everybody.